Green light. Go, go, go.
We were talking, but no one was listening. Welcome to the first properly competitive SOP Motorsport event, the Endurance Series 1.5 hours of Silverstone. Brought to you by SOP Motorsport and, of course, Coach Dave Academy. And just as I say that, it looks like Ampio has gone off the track.
Yeah, a bit of a problem there, I think, with the McLaren driver, and he's got, he's fallen down, is he? Something's going on with the timing screen, I'm not sure, he's in 11th place.
I had a bit of technical difficulties there as well, I couldn't see the feed, so we now have Ampio, who went off the track, down in 13th place now. He was leading comfortably, so that leaves the ILRT car of SV5 well out in front at the moment, leading from the Bentley of AJ to the P. This event is of course brought to you by Coach Dave Academy. You can head over to www.coachdaveacademy.com for all of your motorsport needs really. You can get one-to-one coaching from a real-world professional racing driver, all of your ACC setup bundles just to get the edge over the competition, made by aliens for humans, and you can also get track maps for all Assetto Corsa Competizione maps. And today we are giving away a prize courtesy of Coach Dave Academy, which will go to the driver of the day, and you guys in the comment section can have your say on who that's going to be.
It's been a heroic lap one, I think. What do you think, Stu?
It was a pretty tidy lap one. I mean, we were fishing about with technical problems for most of it, but we saw a really good getaway from the ILRT car, and I just think that the Ampio McLaren just struggled to keep onto his tail and probably burnt himself out a bit early by going wide there. I didn't exactly see what the cause was, but I think it was just trying to hang on to the back of that ILRT Porsche, who has had a stunning getaway and is leading by almost 2 seconds to the Bentley behind.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't be too upset about a 2-second gap, would you? Especially in a Porsche, and you got the Bentley behind, and he's AJ to the P is doing quite well, I think, to keep on its tail.
Well, look, this race is not a sprint. This is 1.5 hours. There are no driver swaps. These drivers are going to be in the car for that long. No brakes, no nothing. They've just got to knuckle down and get on with it. And with the Porsche, like you said, fuel on board, it's a lovely car, loads of balance, because all of that fuel sits over the front axle, and it's the only weight that's over there. Once that fuel starts running dry, the car gets all sorts of becomes all sorts of a troublemaker, really. We've got a fairly tight grid in the middle of the pack. Number 9, GOP and Ampio now having a battle as Ampio fights his way back up the order. We should go and have a look how he's getting on.
Yeah, he's doing quite well, I think. Ampio's an unfortunate lap 1, and it's only lap 2, as you said. An hour and a half race around here, no gaps, and the drivers are just going to have to hang out. And I think patience is key, especially with a track like Silverstone, because they can throw you off quite easily.
If Ampio plays the cards right and keeps the pace up that he showed in qualifying and has shown in this race, apart from that one blip, he could well be fighting for the lead again later on.
Yeah, you can't take anyone out of contention, especially in an SOP race.
And also that guitar dude seems to have been struggling, down in 11th place, also in a McLaren. It seems like McLarens aren't having a great start to this race. Are they going to come into their own a little bit later on? That guitar dude is someone I would have expected to be right up there in the top of the field. One thing about Silverstone as well, it's really, really heavy on your tyres. I mean, we have got 2 mandatory pit stops. These tyres are usually good for an hour, so we should be expecting 45-minute stints from these drivers, but around this fast, long circuit of Silverstone, it can really put a lot of pressure, especially on that front left. And then you've got the caveat that is the front right tyre of the car tends to stay quite blue and tends to stay a little bit cold, and that can be a little bit of a headache for the drivers. We know they were talking about it through the week in the practice sessions. The drivers were really struggling to keep temperature in the right hand side of the car, and is that going to become a factor later on in the race?
And as you say there about tyre temps and everything, that Qatardu's all over the back of Naka in 10th, and he's is he going to send it around the outside? I think he is.
That guitar dude is...
And he's made it through.
He is through. Can he make it stick? The Mercedes just not agile enough, just didn't look light enough on his feet to keep that guitar dude at bay. Ampio now all over Smith and Wesson in 8th place. Ampio is really the one to watch at the moment.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah. He's done a good recovery drive and it's only lap 4.
He's probably angry, he's got the bit between his teeth.
Yeah.
He's going to be angry at himself and probably angry at the circuit by this point, but
yeah,
one thing's for sure, we're going to see some good racing coming up. And Ampio did take Smith and Wesson. He is now heading for GOP.
Yeah, and down the Hanger Straight they go. This is one of the longest straights, not as long as the Wellington Straight. And GOP goes defensive into Stowe.
Ampio definitely got more traction, got more out of that corner, and he is all over the Lamborghini.
He's being very patient. I think he's just trying to pick the moment to jump on him. I think he's doing well so far.
And meanwhile, at the front of the pack, we might want to stay with GOP and Ampio for a little while, but just to let you know, we have AJ been making a little bit of ground on the ILRT car of SV5. Got the gap down to 1.5 seconds at the moment. And they are kind of in a race of their own at the moment, because third place THKKR is 4.5 seconds back. Who's your one to watch here, Bailey? Who's the driver you're going to, not pipping for the race win just yet, but the one you're thinking might just create the might just be the hero in this story?
AJ to the P. I've every race so far I've commentated on or watched, he's done really well. And the Bentley seems to be the car he enjoys the most to drive, and yeah, he shows some good stuff I think in the car. And also the guitar dude, also same with him, he seems to be one with the car I think around many of the tracks.
I think I'd agree with that. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe for all future racing. We'll be bringing to you plenty. We've got the Sprint Championship starting very, very soon indeed, and of course more of these Coach Dave Academy endurance races.
And we've already
just
got...
ahead of us. Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say, someone's in the pits already. Blaine in the Bentley.
Just about to say, I'm wondering if that's to repair some damage or if it's got an incredible strategy idea. It may just be that he's forgot to fuel up the car going into the race after qualifying.
Oh, we do have a
we'll
yellow flag in Markets? No. The village, there's like a yellow flag.
Looked like a short-lived yellow.
Yeah, some span possibly.
Yeah, I can't see any drivers stopped. I can see a driver stopped, actually. Car number 7, is it? Car number 7. Oh, that's in the pits. Ignore me. I was getting very excited looking at the track map then. It's just a driver in the pits. Getting used to this new limited broadcast system that we have available to us. So at the moment we have the biggest race we have at the moment is Ampio and GOP, because GOP is flashing his lights and all over the back of Ampio again now. Yeah, drivers do like to flash their lights a bit. What is it? A distraction method? Is it what a little bit, yeah. I mean, its primary function, I suppose, is for I think it's sort of spawned from multi-class racing.
Yeah.
You know, 24-hour races and things like that to let you know that I'm a big boy, move out of the way, I'm coming through. But increasingly it's used as well as a little bit of a distraction tactic, just to see if you can throw the car in front off their braking zone or off their line a little bit. They can't just, of course, in the real world, tilt their mirrors up and get that glare out of their face, but it'll always be a factor having that, having those flashing lights in your mirror.
The gap, AJ to the P's closed the gap down to a second. Yeah,
we should probably go and have a look at those two, see how they're getting on. Some really sensible, proper GT3 racing up front there.
And he's ILRT hasn't quite got the gap that we were talking about earlier. But
you couldn't get two more different cars. You've got the small, nimble, rear-engined screamer of a pocket rocket that is the Porsche, and then you've got the big HMS Bentley.
Oh yeah.
That we would all expect to be the one that can go long and make the distance. But I wouldn't necessarily expect it to be chasing the lead of the pack at this stage of the race. But AJ's making it work. And they're in a world of their own.
Yeah, they are. I was just about to say the same thing. And just looking at AJ now. Oh, sorry. Just going to look at the Qatar dudes all over the back of Smith and Wesson. So that's another battle on track. And there's a crash. I caught the back of that in the village, in the loop. Yeah, is a pink Porsche and GOP. GOP was involved.
Just going to try and find out what happened there. I can see the pink Porsche of Smith and Wesson.
Wesson, yeah. I got it on stream. I'll have to have a look back at that. Not too sure.
And the GOP Lamborghini is going slowly around the track and does have some damage to the right hand side of the vehicle, I think.
The crash was GOP and Smith and Wesson, yeah. So
GOP is in the pits, Bailey. GOP has just come into the pits. He's obviously got some damage on board, and what a shame that is. That the stewards are definitely going to want to have a look at that at the end of the race.
Yeah, so I just caught the back end of that as we were watching, and Smith and Wesson seems to be going quite slow now in the Porsche. I'm not sure if that was...
I did see some...
he's gone off. He's gone off again in Stowe. Not in Stowe. Oh, man, but Beckett's. He's gone off in Beckett's.
Looks like Beckett's, yeah. Looks like he maybe got a bit out of shape, probably caused by the damage. I don't know who caused the incident between, at the moment we only think GOP and Smith & Wesson were involved.
And he's gone.
He's retired. So Smith & Wesson has retired from the race. Damage sustained. That's the first casualty of this 1.5 hour race, and we are not far into this, guys. We're just 15 minutes into this race. But we will see what comes of that later on when the stewards get a hold of it. So GOP, who was having a really good race actually in that Lamborghini, is the consequence of that is he's in the pits having that damage repaired. But it's not the end of the world. This isn't a sprint race. You know, there's a whole lot of race left, like we said, and a little bit of damage, a longer pit stop, he can fuel up.
I think the battle we need to be watching is Mazda and Tico. Tico's gone defensive on the Wellington straight. Mazda's looking for the outside, and he's going to switch back. Tico's gone off.
Oh, he's gone wide.
Lack of grip.
He's gone wide. Lack of grip, bit of pressure from the back, and he's lost extra space as well. He's
and
just got absolutely mugged there.
And look who's overtaken him, Ampio, already.
Yeah. Ampio might be the driver to watch here. He made, I think, an unforced error at the start, and at the moment he's making all the headlines. And for me, a candidate for driver of the day. Remember, you guys watching at home can make a call for driver of the day as well. They will, of course, be winning a Coach Dave Academy prize of a setup bundle or a track map bundle,
which is always useful, especially when racing in league races like we do, and you want to...
It's an awesome prize.
Oh yeah.
It's an awesome prize. So it might be worth just staying with Ampio for a minute, because he's only a second off Mazda, and he is absolutely screaming through this field. He was first place, and then he went all the way down to 13th, guys, and now he is in 6th, chasing the top 5 hard.
And AJ to the P's brought the gap down to 8/10, and that's
it's just. Do you think that's the ILRT Porsche slowing up a little bit, struggling once the tyres are kind of bedded in a little bit, or is it just AJ to the P?
Push it.
Keep the pressure on, pushing.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I think AJ to the P's shown through all the races we've done is consistency, and his intent is always to put in pressure on the driver in front, and he's doing it right now. He's driving the track as if it's just so familiar to him. It's like, I can't even describe it. It's just brilliant.
Well, AJ Speed's one of those drivers you know who's going to come out and put in a consistent, grown-up performance.
Yeah.
We're obviously yet to see his overtake attempt. That can always go awry, but at the moment he is flying the flag for the British Bentley on its home circuit.
Exactly, and back to Ampio, I think, and he's attacking Mazda.
Yeah, in 6th place. He's just 9/10 off now. He's not the kind of driver to hang around and sit at the back of a driver and have a little look. He is a slightly riskier driver. He will go for those overtakes, so it's always going to be throwing the coin up in the air sometimes. When you're overtaking drivers you don't know their driving style. He doesn't like to sit behind them for too long. Could he come a cropper somewhere? But he's really neat and tidy, really planted, watching Ampio through Maggots and Beckett's, I think. And
AJ to the P has now brought the gap down to 5/10. So the battle is at the front, I think. But better keep an eye on Ampio, because I think he's about to make a move into Stowe. Is it?
Did take a look through to Stowe and is about to go down into
here we go.
Club Corner Complex. Is he going to make a dive? No, he stays back, stays on the outside. Probably lost himself a little bit of momentum there on that late braking attempt. He had to stay on the brakes a little bit longer than he would have liked.
Yeah.
As he screams now, both of them run quite
wide
there.
Into Abbey they go.
That Mercedes has got plenty of muscle for these high speed bits. It's going to be on the slower stuff where that McLaren might show its... It's going to be close.
He sent it then into Village, and he's going to try and get that. He's gone for the wider line to get the speed, the extra speed for the Wellington straight. Has it worked? I'm not too sure. I think Mazda's got the exit spot on as well.
They're going to be going to the complex at Luffield now, and that's going to be really interesting. I think the McLaren is going to make a move into that complex. It looked like the Mercedes got a little bit squirrely onto brakes and runs wide
he's
there.
Done it. Perfect move.
And into the right-hander at Luffield, and back down onto the start finish straight for Ampio, and he's made it stick, and he's got an instant gap there as he crosses the line.
Yeah, that was pure. That was incredible. That was, and jumping to the guys at the front, AJ to the P, and ILRT weaving on the hanger straight, try and break that slipstream. Maybe trying to put AJ to the P off, but they are so close. And I think this is where we'll see a move. Can we see another move into the village, I wonder?
It's just going to be a case of the ILRT Porsche of SV5 not risking everything on the lead here, because we are still an hour and 10 minutes to go in this race, and neither of them is pitting. They've both got to pit twice, so it may not be worth fighting for position here at the moment. ILRT, if he's going to scrub his tyres and if he's going to risk throwing himself off, it might just be worth him giving up the position if he's finding the pressure building on him, but just staying on the back of AJ to the V, staying in his slipstream. I don't know, but he has got clean air at the minute, and that's beneficial as well.
Where do you think he's making all this time then? Is it these slow speed corners like the village and the Vale?
AJ to the P, or?
No, SV5, because he's grabbed another 4/10.
With the Porsche, it's through the bendy stuff. It's going to be where he can lay that traction down, get that turn in without too much lift off. That Porsche can rotate on a sixpence.
Yes.
But as a consequence of having that sort of rear engine, it does have a lot of drag with that massive rear wing it needs to keep the rear planted.
Yeah, and you can just see AJ to the P seems to have so much confidence, and he's gone off.
He's off.
Oh no!
They're both off.
And they've made contact. That is unfortunate.
AJ to the P in the Bentley. The rear right of AJ to the P got tagged. An unfortunate incident. The ILRT Porsche just got a little ragged there and lost it, and now that means the second Porsche of THKKR in third place has now just had his dinner handed to him on a silver platter now.
Oh yeah, and THKKR, is he going to want to jump onto this? I think.
Well, it depends. I mean, has there been any damage? Has there been any aero damage? Don't forget, we're at Silverstone. This is an aero-heavy circuit, so we've got both the Porsche and the Bentley. Both would have received some damage.
Some sort.
It didn't look like the sort of the biggest of hits, but.
Well, I think what happened was, as I was saying as well, that AJ to the P looked so confident going through Maggots and Beckett's. SV5 lost the rear in Beckett's, I believe. And
it's
just
easily done.
It is, yeah. And it's just when he rolled back, he clipped AJ to the P, and it was so unfortunate for both of them, really.
There was nothing intentional there. He wasn't deliberately sort of re-entering the circuit.
No.
I'm just hoping that AJ to the P hasn't suffered too much damage, because he was absolutely innocent party there. He was piling on pressure onto the ILRT Porsche, and
the gap they must have had to THKKR for him not to have taken first, because I was certain, I jumped on board with him because I was certain that is SV5 going in the pits, yeah.
Okay, so SV5 and the ILRT Porsche has taken an early pit stop, whether that's for damage or whether he doesn't have any confidence in his tyres, but it seems a little bit early for that. But he may just not have any confidence in his tyres now after pushing at the head of the field in front of AJ to the P. So AJ to the P takes the theoretical lead, although SV5 will have a pit stop on him at the moment. Is he going to come under pressure from THKKR, or are we about to see AJ unleashed? He now has the clean air, he now doesn't have anyone to watch in front of him for braking points or anything like that. He can just go. It's going to be down to whether he received any damage in that incident.
Yeah, and I think that might have not really affected him really in terms of racing, but I think he's going to be a bit more wary now. AJ to the P, is he gonna have to put some laps in now to try and get the gap away from the Porsche behind him, or is he gonna have to just wing it and see what happens? I don't know how much damage he's sustained, and yeah, that could. It
didn't look like much. He just winged him on that sort of rear
just tapped him,
left corner. So I don't think it would have. It didn't look like there was any impact to the front splitter or the rear. Time at the moment, but it's not terrible for the ILRT Porsche to have pitted at this time.
Ooh, I'm just watching AJ to the P go round. I think is it Luffield into the final corner, Woodcote and or Woodcote, sorry, and he looked like he was adjusting his steering wheel angle. The back end was a bit sloppy. I don't know if that's how the Bentley handles normally, but that didn't look good.
Well, you've got to also... He's just finding his own feet at the moment now. He's got that clear air, so he's pushing a little bit harder than he's perhaps been able to in the last few laps, being on the back of that Porsche. He might just be catching himself out a little bit, getting to know the car at full tilt. And he's also got to bear in mind he's got a very experienced driver in THKKR, just 1.5 seconds behind.
Let's just talk about the fact that Ampio is in third.
Well, that's Jay Page has pitted. I think he's gifted that position to Ampio, but yeah, Ampio is for me at the moment stepping up to a sort of man of the match position. But people in the comments can talk me out of that one. But Ampio is definitely the driver to watch. For those who missed the start of the stream, he was the pole sitter at the start of this race. He went off what looked like an unforced error. Went wide and he dropped down to 13th place, and he's just been making clean overtake after clean overtake, and now sitting on the podium, which is ridiculous, really, to be only 28 minutes into this race and to have already made his way back to third position. But it just shows the class and the quality that driver has.
Oh, and there's been a spinner of Jay Page in yet again maggots, and just pitted as well, so didn't make any contact. That was just purely a mistake.
That is the part of the circuit we were talking about before the race, maggots and Beckett's. You've just got that weight shift as you come out of cars. The car settles down, and you're downshifting through maggots and Beckett's, and that weight is just shifting over your front left and your front right, and it can just the back of the car can just try and catch up with you sometimes. And if he's on new tyres, if he's on cold tyres, that could have been the incident there. But it doesn't look to have affected him too much. He's in 10th place, but he has pitted.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing, isn't it? Yeah, there's people in the chat saying that he's probably asking too much for the cold tyres, and I just have to say I agree. I think he was
I'd agree with that.
Going a bit too fast into the
track temperature's a little above what I thought it might be, so about 18 degrees. So I don't think the tyres will be struggling too much, but as time progresses, as they come towards their second pit stop window, I think that track temperature is going to come down a little bit as the time wears on. I'm just trying to look elsewhere to see if we have any battles forming. I can see that guitar dude started to close the gap on Tico. That guitar dude in his very attractive looking blue McLaren.
What colour do you call that?
I'd call it, I don't know, aqua blue.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm not going to go for it. Yeah, I'm not going to go for a sort of DFS kind of wall chart type thing, but it's a very, very stunning looking car. Definitely closing the gap on Tico. Down to 1.2 seconds now. And it's McLaren versus Ferrari in that battle for 5th place. Blaine is also all over in 14th place now, all over the back of Nakur 10. Or was, I think he's actually dropping back. Has Blaine had another issue? Or? We are starting to see those drivers that are consistent, experienced kind of warriors that are not letting this first third of the race get to their heads. They're not throwing it all away. We can also see some of those drivers are perhaps a little bit new to the world of endurance racing, probably finding out the hard way just how concentrated and consistent you need to be.
And back to our favourite driver of this race, I think, Ampio is only 13 seconds behind after being 18 seconds behind, so showing some serious pace.
Someone's going to have to twist my arm to work out who the Coach Dave Academy driver for the day is going to be today, but we've still got a whole hour to go. We've still got a whole hour. We've only watched 1/3 of this race. What do you guys in the who are watching at home, what do you guys think for driver of the day at this stage? It'd be interesting to see if anyone's got any other ideas.
Ooh, the Qatar dude is 2/10 off Tico.
It is that wonderful battle of the McLaren against the Ferrari.
Oh yeah.
Where are we here? We're in the
Vale,
chicane at Club.
Coming to Club, yeah.
Okay, yeah, coming to Club, yeah. Just looks like the Ferrari gets a little bit of a better exit, but that McLaren seems to close up on the braking and the mid-corner phase.
Yeah, this is where the
McLaren
McLaren
go through. Andy. Heavy braking now into that tight right-hander. He's going to try and over-under. Yeah. He hasn't got it. That Ferrari's definitely got good traction out of the corners.
Got blue screen. I've got blue screen.